Hi and welcome. My name is Lauren Magee and I work with No Starch Press. I'd like to walk you through some of our No Starch essential titles. To give you some background on No Starch, we've been publishing the finest in geek entertainment since 1994, and we focus on a curated list that covers topics like computer programming, cybersecurity, operating systems, Lego, and STEM. We have a lot of enthusiastic followers and fans, and there's no doubt that these titles would be a great resource to your patrons of all ages. Technology education is now starting as early as kindergarten, so our goal, and of course yours, is to foster those readers and be there with resources to meet them where they are. So where should we start to help build your collection with No Starch Press? I'm here to offer some suggestions for our titles geared towards adults, as well as approachable explanations of this sometimes intimidating category. So let's get started. First up, I'd like to talk to you about some of our Python titles. Python is a popular, simple programming language that's used in classrooms and at corporations. The code is logical and easy to read. This title, Python Crash Course, is actually the world's best-selling guide to the Python programming language. Python is also the most popular introductory programming language used in US high schools, so you'll have patrons of all ages coming to you for this helpful resource. Up next is Automate the Boring Stuff with Python 2nd edition. This book assumes no prior programming experience. You're going to learn the basics of Python, and this book is going to teach you how to be more efficient. So tasks that would take you hours by hand will now take you minutes with some programming help. This is No Starch Press's second best-selling title after Python Crash Course. So where do you go after you've read through Python Crash Course and Automate? Here's the answer: beyond the basic stuff with Python. It's a great follow-up to introductory books, and it covers skills that nearly every programmer needs, from styling code professionally to object-oriented programming. We don't want to leave out the kids, so I did want to show you Python for Kids. This brings Python to life using full color illustrations, and it's a great tool for kids and as well as parents to get into the world of programming. By the end of the book, kids will be able to program 2 complete games, including a clone of the popular Pong. For some of our coding titles, I wanted to show you algorithmic thinking. I have a definition for algorithm right here, and so it's a sequence of instructions to tell a computer what to do. It's a recipe to achieve a result or solve a problem. In this title, you're going to learn how to solve challenging programming problems and then design your own algorithms. It's a very readable book in a sea of sometimes confusing textbooks. Next, we've got Eloquent JavaScript. So JavaScript is a scripting language for creating complex website features such as animated images and dynamic content. Without JavaScript, a web page would be static. So this book can walk you through beginning steps and all the way to learning more complex ideas, and it's a language that you'll be able to use to build full-scale applications. Next, we have the Linux command line. So Linux is an open source operating system, and it's the most used operating system in the world. It's found in anything from smartphones to televisions, cars to cloud computing infrastructure. Open source is software and code that is freely available, and it can be used, modified, or distributed by anyone. So in the Linux command line book, it's going to take you from your very first keystroke all the way to writing full programs. Practical SQL. So SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it's a tool that programmers, researchers, journalists, they use to explore data in a database. Practical SQL is an approachable and fast-paced guide that's going to teach even beginner programmers how to build powerful databases and then analyze the data to find meaningful information. This book also assumes no prior programming experience, so it's really a wonderful one-stop shop for your patrons to learn about SQL. In our Hacking and Cybersecurity category, here are a couple titles to take a look at. Hacking: The Art of Exploitation 2nd edition. This book introduces the fundamentals of C programming from a hacker's perspective. C is a programming language that uses sets of step-by-step instructions used in hardware programming and programming competitions. Linux Basics for Hackers. So this is a practical tutorial style book that teaches Linux basics with a focus on how hackers would use them. Linux skills are indispensable in the hacking world, and many aspiring hackers and security professionals are hampered by their lack of Linux knowledge. So this is a fantastic tool with lots of hands-on exercises that are great for total beginners. How to hack like a ghost. This takes you deep inside the mind of a hacker as you carry out a fictionalized attack against a tech company. You're going to be able to experience all the thrills, frustrations, dead ends, and eureka moments as you look over the shoulder of a hacker. It's a really engaging read that I think takes an interesting point of view to learn about hacking. How cybersecurity really works. This is one of our newer titles. It's an engaging introduction to the field of cybersecurity, which is constantly in the news. You'll learn how attackers operate, as well as how to defend yourself and organizations against online attacks. And then finally, in our STEM category, Bayesian statistics the fun way. So this is an approach to applying probability to statistical problems. But in order to learn Bayesian statistics, this author uses off the beaten track examples to make learning statistics fun and how you can get the most value from your data. Some of the examples are finding out the probability of UFOs landing in your garden, or how likely Han Solo is to survive a flight through an asteroid shower. Then we have Computers for Seniors. This is a basic introduction to computers for seniors with simple instructions and full color illustrations. Readers are going to learn how to search the internet, send email, watch videos, use apps, listen to music, and all of those skills to help you in your day-to-day life. In addition to Computers for Seniors, we also have Facebook for Seniors. And then here we have Deep Learning. This is another newer title to the No Starch line that is off to a wonderful start. It's a richly illustrated, full-color introduction to deep learning. So deep learning is a form of machine learning, which is artificial intelligence that learns without human supervision. It's used in everything from fraud detection to driverless cars. And I wanted to close by showing you a few titles that would be appropriate for the children's section. We have Homemade Robots, and this is releasing in August, and this is robots that you can build using materials that you find around your house. Lego Space Projects are new and creative ways to use all those Legos you have at home. It's 52 creative models that are out of this world. It's fully illustrated, 4-color photos throughout, step-by-step instructions. It's a wonderful book that comes out in August. And then we have the Lego Zoo, and it's 50 easy-to-build animals. And down there on the bottom, we've got Raspberry Pi projects for kids, coding with Minecraft, and Microbit for mad scientists. So as I mentioned, we have books for all ages, and we really encourage you to try No Starch Press, and you'll see what a wonderful resource it is for your patrons. We are proudly distributed by Penguin Random House, so you can find more information through their website or nostarch.com. We're on Edelweiss. There's lots of different places to turn to for more information. Never hesitate to ask questions, and we hope you keep learning and keep learning with No Starch Press. Thank you.